Heather Zykowski, the babe with the power, and coming up next on WAYO LP Rochester is The Sound of Tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about colonoscopies. We're going to be
Yeah.
talking about disability fashion. We might have some donuts. I hope we have donuts. No, I don't. I don't actually. Y'all know this about me. I don't like donuts. Weird, right? Off-putting. Another terrible thing about me. And maybe we will have some news about a brighter future. But first,
Heather, you're going to be so glad that you hired me as your agent.
I mean, what with your complete lack of experience and history of Pyrrhic victories and or utter failures, well, it seems like you're due for a win. Might as well get in on the ground floor if you do something right.
Thank you. So, are you ready to do the ad we talked about?
I sure am. Is this going to make me blow up?
Oh, not literally, no.
Oh, well, good.
Probably not figuratively either.
It's just that I was kind of hoping for something viral.
Yeah, you were. And I was kind of hoping that you'd pay me for this, but, here we are.
Here we are.
Are you ready?
Hit me. Ow! What did you hit me for?
You said to hit you, but I think it's best we just get to it. Okay, ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Heather, did you hear about the hot new hashtag?
I sure did, Ross. It's hashtag YOLO.
Okay, well, that's neither new nor hot, and it's also not what we rehearsed.
Oh, what we rehearsed. Got it.
You good?
All set.
Okay, take 2. Hey, Heather, did you hear about the hot new hashtag?
I sure did, Ross. It's hashtag Russell Crowe.
What? Okay, Russell Crowe? Why Russell Crowe?
He's trending.
Oh my gosh, is he okay?
Oh, totally relieved Denzel Washington.gif, you know? I think he's just in a new movie or something.
So, why are we talking about that?
Hot new trending hashtag, Ross.
But is it the one we rehearsed?
I guess not.
You guess not.
I'll get it next time, I promise.
Okay, one more shot. Hey, Heather, did you hear about the new...
Release the Heather cut!
Okay, well, now you stepped on my intro.
Oh, cheapers. Should we start over?
Nope, keep rolling.
Release the Heather Cut is the hot new hashtag / cyberbullying initiative where we ask you, the fans, to force WAYO to release the full, uncut versions of our old Sound of Tomorrows.
That's right, Heather. If you love our hour-long modern episodes, imagine SOTs that are 2, 3, even 4 hours long.
Just imagine hours and hours of barely edited rambling about old-timey topics like MySpace with minimal editing and zero quality control.
That sounds great. And you know what? There's more.
Ooh, really? Do tell.
I mean, there's literally just more. And if you think our home remote recorded episodes sound rough,
You mean artisanal.
I sure do, Heather. If you like the sound of our recent episodes, you'll love the endless chit-chat about old episodes of RuPaul from 2 dopes who barely understood how to use microphones.
It's like the amateur homemade kombucha of radio shows, but interminable.
So let's get this trending, Space Cadets. Release the Heather Cut!
Release the Heather Cut!
Short and sweet. Like you.
Aw.
Oh, I got boogers. It's not really boogers, it's just nose itches. It's fine.
I
Boogers would
understand.
be
I've always
unsanitary.
I've
I'm in
always
my
got
own.
cat fur in my moisturizer.
I'm in.
So
I've got
whenever I'm on
moisturizer.
whenever I'm on a video chat, I'm always like, I'm sorry. I've just got cat fur in my moisturizer.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just
this is
breathe out.
charming.
I breathe.
Charming.
I breathe in a lot of dog hair.
Yeah.
Hey
well,
everybody, I'm Ross Johnson, your favorite co-host.
And I'm Heather Zykowski, the babe with the power.
We're here to tell you about an all-new Sound of Tomorrow on where is it? I forgot.
WAYO-LP Rochester, that's 104.3 FM.
That's the one. Hey everybody.
What's going on? Hi.
What you doing?
Stuff.
What's going on? You know, Heather, I'll tell you a little secret.
Yeah. What's a little
Tell you a
secret?
little secret.
I
Got
want to know.
got my first jab.
Whoa!
Yep. So I'm going to be
I'm
back to
excited.
having the exact same amount of interaction that I had with physical interaction with people that I had
I
before, which
know.
is pretty much still zero. But
I am
nevertheless,
so excited for you, and I've gotta tell you, I am scheduled for my first one very, very soon.
what?
I know, I'm so psyched because I
What?
too will mainly stay in my house like I always do and always have.
Sure. I like that. I feel like you're going to be a little sad when COVID's over because you were practicing it for so long. Like when
I
I'd see you
know.
in the grocery store and you would dive into the cooler to avoid having any contact. That's the kind of thing I felt like, in a way. I'm not saying you're glad of COVID, obviously, because who would be? But
I'm
I
not.
felt like this was also your moment. This is what you had trained for. This was the disaster that
You
you were
know,
prepared for your entire life. You weird hermit.
I believe toward the beginning of this, you confessed that both of us were perhaps uniquely prepared for a situation like lockdown.
Super weird hermits.
I I can't I can't say that you're wrong. Honestly, I really, really can't because definitely I'm a super weird hermit, and I have been for a long time. This didn't make it any better. Like, there used to be reasons that I had to go out, obligations and things, so I understood, you can't stay in all the time. However, lockdown has proven I can stay in all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I am very, very ready to protect myself and others and contribute to herd immunity as much as I'm not out like mingling with much of my fellow herd.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. Like I
Yeah,
can still wear my mask at the grocery store. It would be nice if, I could, when I go visit you at the home, it's not just you holding up your hand to the glass and me,
right.
sort of having the news crew
Yes.
there for your birthday.
Yep. Out
'Cause
of
it's
social distance, however, now the news
right,
crew can really get right up in there when we do
right,
our photo op like that.
right, right.
Yeah, you can actually come in and I can offer you a plate of prepackaged cookies that have been open for a while, but not that long.
Was it since the last time I was over?
Yeah. I keep them for you. I at my age, you don't really need to eat very much.
Oh, just enough to keep you going, huh?
Yeah.
I have a new. You know what? I was gonna segue into donuts, but I'm gonna do a real quick just because this made me think of this. So, we were talking about how I love Cicely Tyson, and then she died, which is very not a nice thing to do if if you care about somebody. But so I read her memoir called Cicely Tyson's book. I forget, can't remember. It was good. I just read
That's a
it.
good title.
Yep.
Very good title.
And so she was talking about. So I've been feeling like with lockdown, there's been a lot of. It's not like the eating has been terrible, but there's just been a lot more. I guess not going to the store and buying fresh produce very often and things like that, and buying more things that are going to last. I felt like there's been a lot more salty, sort of processedy sort of stuff that's probably like okay, but not great to have be a staple of every meal. And plus, I think psychologically, I was just getting to the point where I was like, I can't just we'll just have a veggie burger for dinner. Can you just have a veggie burger for dinner? That's fine, right?
Mhm.
And I was feeling a little schlumpy, I was feeling a little schlumpy. So I was reading Cicely Tyson's memoir where she was talking about her, and I combined this with a couple other things and some things I was looking at. So I got a new thing going into spring, and I think it's maybe good. I'm not recommending, this is not, we don't recommend meal plans or diet things or anything like that. But so this was easy because part of it too was I can put together a healthy meal, no problem, and I like cooking all that, but I just can't do it every single meal. So between Cicely
Mhm.
Tyson's book and then some things I was reading online, I had a good idea, and it's sort of working for a couple weeks. So I get at the beginning of the week, like I get sort of simple thing, like I don't know. I chopped up a cabbage that lasted me like 3 weeks. Cabbage lasts a really long time, by the way.
Mhm.
If you're
It really does.
if you're
Yeah.
poor and want some vegetable like cabbage, this cabbage, I was like, I cannot eat. I got one cabbage that was like $1.50, and it seriously lasted like 3 weeks.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I've got soup frozen. I
Yeah,
made
they'll
carrot
do
soup
that
that's
for
still
sure.
frozen in the that's still frozen in the freezer. So I made soup with it, and I was eating it like every meal. So this is sounding less appealing, I guess. You don't have to eat cabbage every meal. But anyway, so at the beginning of the week, like, I was chopping up cabbage, little tomatoes, cucumbers, emptying a can of beans. I mean, just different that whatever you want. It can be, there's no rules, quinoa, some brown rice, whatever. Nice healthy things. And you just put a whole bunch when you're hungry, when you're ready to have a mealtime, you just pick out whichever ones sound the best and you put them on a plate. And then you got some, you can have like a yogurt sauce. I made a little avocado cilantro sauce that you can put on it, or like some
Mm.
tahini. You just put whatever you like. And then you got a nice meal. It's got a little variety. You're not getting a lot of, it's not a lot, it's all whole food. You're not getting a lot of preservatives and things like that. Sometimes you can spice it
Yeah.
up with, you can put a chicken nugget on there if you want. Nobody cares. There are no rules. You can do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, because Cicely Tyson was talking about her like vegan sort of all whole grain, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling like a schlump. Here's a lady who, as best I can tell, um, was 96 years old because she was doing interviews. She was doing like book tour stuff, like right before her book came out, and then died like the next day. So as far as I can tell, here's a lady who lived to be 96 and was just like, la la la, I'm living my life. I'm working. I'm going to work. I like doing my job. I'm doing this. I'm writing this book. I'm doing stuff. Here we go. La la la, and I'm dead. Like there did not. I don't know her personally, so I don't know. But there did not seem to be oh, I'm really sick and miserable, and I'm having a real. It was like la la la, happy, 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 dead at 96. So I was like, this is not the worst, scenario. So that's my whole thing. But an alternative. So there's some tips for you. Anybody, you could do that if you want. You don't have to. I don't really care. I'm not here to tell you how to live. It's not my job. I'm not your mom.
Mhm.
But what else you could do?
I find the thing with me, like,
Go ahead.
oh,
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I find the thing with me, if I do that with fruit, I'm way more likely to eat the fruit than I am to go and prepare something, like peel something. But, like,
It's
yesterday, I cut up a big melon and I put the chunks in a container, and then it was great. Like, I just had a big bowl of melon, and then today I just poured out the chunks. I've got more for tomorrow, and when I do the prep work and I can just grab something, makes it a little
yeah,
easier for me.
and even if you don't do it as a meal, just I think you got that. I think you're onto something with that, because even just like taking little containers and like prepping some stuff at the beginning of the week so you have it. I mean, stuff that you can just eat right at, because even like I'll eat some black beans just in a pile on a plate. Like I have no issue with that. But the thought of opening the can of black beans is inordinately, that is a
Mhm.
barrier to eating those black beans. That will make me think twice about eating black beans. But if they're already in a thing and I can open it up and scoop out the black beans, then I'm done. I mean, and I'm not saying it has to be black beans, but just like even like opening a can of something that you don't have to do anything with, you can just eat it out of
Mhm.
the can if you wanted, is more work than I'm psychologically prepared to do at some points. So yeah, I think you're
Yeah,
onto something.
sometimes I'm definitely in way more of a funk, and if there's something I can pretty much grab and throw on a plate, then that means I'm probably going to eat. Because sometimes it just means, like, I'm not gonna bother. And as much as I think the pandemic, I had a whole article for the other week that we never got to, that it was about pandemic eating and how now people are not on that 3 meals a day,
Mhm.
where before work they have a breakfast, then there's a specified lunch break during work, and then after work it's time for dinner. Because with a lot of people working from home, work is kind of always,
Yeah.
and then the kitchen is always there too, but then when do you want something from it, and what do you want? And then, like, the concepts of what is a breakfast food, that kinda goes out the window too, because if you wanna have
Yeah.
fried eggs at 4 p.m.
Well, and I find the having stuff pre-prepped too like that is there's a there's a if I have a lunch, if I've got the stuff for lunch and I kind of know what I'm having for lunch, then I'll eat lunch and that'll be it and that'll be good. If I don't do that, then it's like I'm just going to eat a handful of saltines and this other thing I found in the cupboard, and then maybe there's a thing in the fridge. You know what I mean? Like, and it'll just be random times, and I sort of don't know what I'm eating when, and I have no idea what I've eaten in the course of a day because it's just like I just grabbed a thing over here, and then I grabbed another thing, and then I heated up a thing, and then I don't even know. I don't even know if I ate like a reasonable combination of foods. So
Right.
I don't know. This is my new
Yeah, that
lifestyle.
can be really tough. I think it's good. I think it's really good because then you can see what you have on your plate, and then you don't probably get sick of a lot of stuff because it's not the same exact dish, like if you made
Yeah,
one soup. Though I am one of those people, if I make a big batch of chili over the weekend, I'll just eat it till it's gone. It doesn't bother me at all. I
yeah.
don't
I
really
mean, I
need a
can do.
lot of variety.
Yeah, I can do stuff like that too. But it's sort of nice to be able to mix and match and blah blah. Blah. I don't know. It's good. It's
Mhm.
good. I'm feeling good. Not really.
Aw,
Still
good.
feel like trash, but I always feel like trash. It's all right.
No. Oh,
Um. So since we're talking about food, this is a perfect segue.
yes.
Heather, I want to talk to you about the latest in the nation's series of incredibly controversial, wildly this is shockingly this topic of donuts that I'm about to bring up and talk to you about is shockingly controversial. And the more I looked into it, the more shockingly controversial it got.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
So,
Hit me with the donut news.
okay, so I'll lead off with this. So there's a lot on this on the internet and on Twitter, so you can find stuff about this in a lot of places. But I looked most closely at two articles. One is by Ronnie Koenig from today.com. That's the todayshow.com, and then Molly Olmstead at Slate. So Krispy Kreme, which I think we do not have in the Rochester area anymore, I believe. Is that true? I think that's true.
I think we
Um,
don't.
yeah. I know it was a big deal. Like we got one, and it was a huge big deal.
We
And
did.
remember our old boss
Huge,
like
like in
took
the
off time from work.
90s.
Our it well, I think it was later than that. I mean, there might have been one in the 90s, but I specifically remember at one point our boss, who was
Yeah.
our boss at the time, like taking who never was not at work, taking like the morning off from work so he could go line up at the new Krispy Kreme to get like a hat and a donut. Anyway, I don't think there are any around anymore. Maybe there's one somewhere distant. But anyway, Krispy Kreme is
I
giving
don't
away
think there are, 'cause I definitely remember. Oh, I was gonna say the job that I was at before the job where we worked together,
Mhm.
I remember somebody bringing in Krispy Kreme donuts.
Ah,
So maybe at the job that we worked together, our boss was going to, like, some new location, though,
it's very possible.
but I don't think
They
we
are
have them
giving away
anymore.
a free donut every day for the till March of 2022, I believe it is. Oh no, sorry, till the end of 2021 for anyone who's been vaccinated.
A free donut every day.
Yes, a free donut. So you can bring your thing in, and you can bring your little not a punch card, but your vaccine card in, and you can, if you wanted to, you could get a donut every single day just by showing that you've been vaccinated. Now I can
Alright,
see
but
your face, so I can see already one reason why this is controversial. Go ahead. Why don't you? Because I can see
well,
you're itching to get in
I
on this
mean
before I even go to the more public controversies.
here on the SOT, I think we've agreed, like, there aren't bad foods, there aren't good foods. Everything in moderation. Is a donut a day moderation?
Okay,
I don't
so
wanna police anybody's donut intake.
you have zeroed in on one of the sources of controversy. So I'll skip
I
to that
mean,
one because
that's
there are
just like a
several.
donut a day, like, I mean, you're
So
doing your vaccine to keep yourself healthy and keep your community and the world in the herd immunity, but and,
Dia
I'm sure there are a lot of people who quite enjoy a donut a day. I don't like donuts, that's probably my problem. I'm not here to food shame anybody.
well, okay. You all, just to be clear, this is not a. You're not required to go every day. You can go up to once a day. So there's no, like, if you skip a day, it doesn't cancel the offer, or
Okay.
they don't bring it to your house or anything. So
Okay,
it should be clear.
alright.
You could get you could get one donut out of this, or 200 and however many days are left. Anyway,
Okay.
so Dr. Leanna Wen, and these are just some sort of slightly random people who I took some comments from. and from these articles. So Dr. Leanna Wen, MD. So controversy number one. If you're getting a vaccine, if we're trying to get over this pandemic, should you be eating a donut every day? Dr. Leanna Wen, MD says, "Hey, Krispy Kreme, I love that you want to thank people for getting the COVID-19 vaccine! Exclamation point. Every incentive helps, and free donuts may help move the needle. However, donuts are a treat that's not good for health if eaten every day." That's controversy number one. Now,
Okay,
controversy,
yeah. That's
you
along
know,
the lines of what I was thinking. Like, there are no bad foods, but maybe not just an everyday donut.
I mean, it's probably, yeah, if you are without too much food shaming, if you're adding a donut every day to your diet, that's maybe not the greatest health choice for most people. We'll just
Well,
say
and
that.
again,
I
this
think
is
that's fair
coming
to say.
from me. I said up front that I don't like donuts. I really don't. I don't like donuts.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Why don't you humble brag some more about the unhealthy things you don't like to eat?
Please,
What
do you
else?
know how
What
much
else don't you
cheese?
like?
Do you know how much cheese I eat? Anything I say about not having much of a sweet tooth is completely, completely negated by the amount of cheese I eat.
Fair enough. Um,
Yes.
so I will say, so maybe controversy 1A, I will call this next one because it's
Okay.
specifically tied to one, which is if you're complaining about people eating a donut every day, are you fat shaming? Kate Bernick wrote an op-ed article for NBC News, said the donut backlash is about fat shaming and shaming people for their food choices and weight gain. I think for me, it wasn't about the donut, she said. I think it's just another opportunity to pass judgment on someone's choices or the way someone looks.
Which I
Fair.
think we have covered with our whole, like, I'm not here to say anybody shouldn't. I mean, I think I even said food shaming.
Yeah. I mean, I think one doesn't want to food shame. One certainly doesn't want to fat shame or anything like that. I think if somebody was like,
No.
I'm starting a new thing where I eat a pie every day for breakfast from now on. You're sort of like, is that the healthiest choice for you? I don't know. Maybe it is. It's your
I
life.
know.
It's your
That's
life.
the
I'm not here to,
thing. That's the thing. I
but
mean, I'm trying to think how I would react if somebody said to me, like, every single day I have a donut. I, honestly, I think I'd be like, a dessert every day. Eh.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I suppose I would say it probably has to do with the balance of your, the rest of your life and food and eating and all that.
yeah,
I think some people could probably absorb that just fine.
yeah. Oh, definitely. Me, I
Other
would.
people, that would be a negative health
Yeah,
consequence potentially. So, I
I
guess
would
I
be
guess our
very
disclaimer for
unhappy.
all of this is do whatever the hell you want. We don't really care.
That's
It's
pretty
not
much it.
it's not up to
Eat
us.
the donut or don't. Like, I'm not gonna
Um,
eat the donut because I don't did I mention I don't care for donuts?
yeah, you were too busy exercising. Um,
Let me tell you about the upgrades to my home gym.
I don't understand. I had an edamame and a Poland Spring, and I'm stuffed. I don't even know how people eat so much. I am really.
You
I
stop.
had yesterday. I had 3 black beans from that can, and you want me to eat a donut? I mean, really, it's disgusting. Um, of course, this next one is probably predictable. Maybe not. Maybe it. Maybe I mean, I think it's pretty. Like people are mad because um I guess on variations of vaccines are bad, and anything that encourages people to get vaccines are bad, and or I'm not going to get a vaccine. How dare you not give me a donut as well? Which is the funniest
Yep.
one. I mean the I guess anti-vax is going to anti-vax, right? So
Mhm, mhm,
um
mhm.
one random Twitter user, I won't give this person's name. I can't believe people actually fall for this propaganda. Amazing how many weak-minded, gullible, ignorant people are walking around this planet right now. Throw your life away, reprogram your DNA, all for a card showing you cooperated and a donut. So
Well, I
that's
mean, Krispy Kreme donuts are really good, people say, if you like donuts. So, I mean, if I liked them, I'm telling you, I am reprogramming my DNA.
yeah,
Also, I'm excited to get a microchip
yeah, me too. I mean,
and a
it's a lot easier
nanobox.
than carrying this phone around that tracks me everywhere
I
I go.
know, I know, right?
It'd be so much easier.
Mhm.
Um, so so that's the that was the anti-vax thing. And then there's a lot of well, it is my choice. I have the right to choose whether I'm going to get a vaccine or not, and it is my right as an American citizen to. I mean, this is the funniest controversy to me because it's like I have a right to, and legally wherever that lands, who knows. Um, the fact that you think that entitles you to a donut. That's like a company wants to offer a donut for doing I would say a reasonably civic minded, healthy, helpful thing for our society to keep us all from dying horrible deaths.
Mm-hmm.
And a company's like, sure, we'll give you a donut if you do that. I mean, the number of people, there seems to be a large volume of people who are very upset about the fact that they can't also have a donut because they have a right not to
Yes.
get a vaccine, and it's a matter of conscience, and it's my choice whether I'm getting this shot. And how dare you then not give me a donut? It's like, I mean, the level of
Yes.
entitlement of, you're always sort of,
Yeah.
I'm sort of, look, I am a white male, so I get privilege. Like I get it. I got it. I get it. Um, and I can still be shocked on an almost daily basis by the level of entitlement that people express.
It's
Like,
pretty wild.
I mean, if I felt
Like,
strongly,
the government is definitely encouraging us to do this.
if I felt strongly about not, if I had a strong conscientious objection to not getting the vaccine, right? I would wear that not getting a donut like a badge of honor. I'd be like, I don't want your donut because this vaccine is wrong and is evil. If you're just tuning in, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the opposite of that.
No. No,
But
please. That oh, y do you have more of this story to go?
no, I mean, I can give you a little bit of so a little for a little bit of context. So just as an extra piece that's also slightly controversial is um Krispy Kreme has some fine print, right? So this makes the I can't have a donut every day even sillier. Krispy Kreme says, we understand that choosing to receive the COVID-19 vaccine is a highly personal decision. We advise all employees and guests to consult with their healthcare provider regarding whether to obtain a COVID-19 vaccination, which vaccine to receive, blah, 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 blah. If you have made the personal decision to not receive the COVID vaccine, please visit us on Mondays from 3:29 to 5:24 to receive a free original glazed donut and a medium brewed coffee to get your week off to a good start. So they have an anti-vax. So the people that are mad about it are mad that they can't have a donut every day. They can only have one on Monday between,
Yes.
a distinct time period. So
Yeah,
it's
and the
like,
poor employees who have to deal with the people who are obviously gonna go in there and give them an
oh,
earful about being anti-vaxxers and give me my free
oh,
coffee and donut.
oh, you're right. What a nightmare that's going to be.
I know, because a good little sheep like me, if I wanted my free donut, I'd just come in with my card, I'd be like, "Mm, I got vaccinated. Thank you, I'm so excited about my donut."
Hmm.
But if I were going in there on Mondays to say that I didn't get vaccinated and now they should give me something, I would imagine I'd have a lot more to say than like, "Hi, thank
Yeah,
you."
yeah, I didn't even think about that angle. You're right. This is gonna be a nightmare for Krispy Kreme employees. Also, how much is a donut? Is it like a
I
dollar?
don't know.
Can't be more
I
than a
think they're
dollar.
aren't they less than that? No, they can't be more than a dollar.
So,
No, they've gotta be like 60 cents or something.
I guess that could be, I guess if you factor that over like almost a year, if you get 200 donuts,
I
it's
guess.
you're saving a lot of money free, but a fair, a little chunk, but I don't know. It's the stuff we get mad about. Turner Classic Movies, which I love. I love me some Turner Classic Movies, Heather.
Mhm, good old TCM.
So they've had this series this month called Reframed, and it's something like Reframed Hollywood in the rearview mirror or something like that, where they basically have so Gone with the Wind is a perfect example. That's the first one they did, where it's like we're showing Gone with the Wind, but they sort of always do this anyway. They have a little like before and after, like the hosts come on and are like, oh, this movie blah blah
Mhm.
blah and stars blah blah blah, and here's something fun about this. But the theme with this is they're actually talking about with their different different hosts. They're actually they're talking about the issues with the movie, the movies, the problematic things about the movies, and they're fairly, you know, I saw a few of them because I love me some Turner Classic Movies, and most of them I just watch the because I like the hosts and I think they're interesting and have interesting things to say. So most of them I was just watching I was like DVRing them and just watching the host segments. Like I didn't watch Gone with the Wind. I just watched the the beginning and the end. Um,
It
and it's
won't
very,
surprise you that I've never seen it.
yeah, it's fine. I mean, I haven't seen it in so I don't know. I mean, this doesn't have to, I don't want this to be a conversation about Gone with the Wind. I I have liked it in the past, even being aware of cognizant, maybe not fully. I mean, I don't think I've seen it since I was like 20, which is not that long ago, of course. But you know,
No,
I
of course not.
thank you, thank you for thank you for jumping in there eventually. Um, I I you know, it is not a. I think there's a. It's a movie as I recall, and I'd almost be tempted to watch it again just in a with a more my current mindset sensibility because even in the past I've watched it
Mhm.
even then understanding like there are definitely some problematic elements to this, but I liked the movie. I don't know if I still would. I mean, there's sort of a thread of um there are things I don't get over as easily now, and I'm okay with that. There are things that
Yeah.
I have more deal breakers now, and that's okay. Um, but you
Yeah.
know,
I
so
do know that feeling.
this is the kind of conversation they're having about Gone with the Wind, and it's fairly mild. I mean, they're not going into great detail. I think it's a
Mhm.
weird, you know, it's a channel with a weird because I think their audience is you've got like old people who are like, I remember watching Gone with the Wind. I'm 114 and I watched Gone with the Wind when it first came out. And then like sort of hipster film, you know, they've got sort of a broad, you know, I think part of the reason they're successful is they've got sort of a broad thing. Anyway, this is a long story that I wasn't planning to talk about this, but I'm just jumping in here. So they're doing this reframed series, right? And they're like showing Gone with the Wind, and they're like, oh, here's something, you know, there's like Jacqueline Stewart, who's a black woman who's a film professor. She's a film professor who happens to be a black woman. She doesn't happen to be a black woman. She is a black woman. Anyway, she's here. I'm being problematic just even as we speak. Look at this. They're going to do this next. They're going to do this podcast is going to be their next episode. They're going to say, there are things we like
Mhm,
about
mhm.
this. And here are the problematic elements, mostly Ross.
Yes.
Um, you know, but they're talking about the race, you know, the glamorization of the old South and slave times, and then the performances of some of the things. But it's fairly so they're showing the movie, and I was seeing online, I was seeing on social media just because sometimes I have to look at the comments, I can't help myself, and people were so all I was seeing was comment after comment about and again it's the angry people that talk, so I realize that, but um cancel. I guess Gone with the Wind is canceled. It's just cancel culture right now. I guess the snowflakes can't handle Gone with the Wind. So, and you're sort of laughing. And I'm getting back to this because of this privilege and people being so. It's like they literally showed you the movie. Like 8 o'clock prime time, Gone with
Yeah.
the Wind came on. And I'm sorry you had to listen to a 4-minute conversation about it beforehand that you couldn't get up to go to the bathroom for if you were really that mad about it, or watch your DVD, or the literally million other ways you can watch Gone with the Wind. Um, instead of this special showing where we're doing this theme, where this is what we're doing and this is why we're showing these movies. It, I mean, sorry, that was a long build up to
It's
people. Calm down. What are you really?
I know, I really thought that you and I got, like, super excited and exercised about stuff and, like, really vehement, but gosh, I kinda think we don't.
I,
People are
I
still upset that the Dr. Seuss company, like, the people who own it, decided they weren't going to keep printing a couple books.
yeah. Well, it's become these social, these social things that people latch on. It's almost like I think there are people that are sitting around feeling like, oh, if you're black, you have an identity. If you're trans, you have an identity. Oh, I guess I don't get to have an identity as a white person. So my identity is going to be I'm mad about Dr. Seuss. I mean, that's almost what it seems like. You know what I mean? Like like, and I'm sure there are non-white people who are mad about Dr. Seuss too. Don't get me wrong there, but we also know the usual suspects here. with some of this stuff.
Right.
And it, it's 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 a I don't know. Calm down. Or get mad
Yeah,
about something.
definitely. I mean,
Get mad about something that's a big deal. Get mad about the pandemic or school shootings, or if you want to get enraged about something. I the latest and the
well, that's the
little
thing. I have the feeling that the people who are getting so upset about Dr. Seuss aren't going to be enraged about mass shootings.
No, you're right. You're right. I guess it's just I can't imagine. I mean, and I certainly, the way social media works, the way social media is designed to work is it's sort of designed to get you worked up over stupid stuff. All the algorithms and all the way things play out is designed to like push stuff
Mhm.
at you in a way, in the most in the way that's gonna like get under your skin as much as humanly possible, because they want you to click on it and see the ads and blah blah blah. And the only way you're gonna do that is if you're really into it. And it's easier, I think, to annoy people or make people mad than it is to, it's hard to come up with really good, awesome, cool content. you know,
Yeah.
um,
You
that you really like. You
social
might
media
look at the
usually
cat.
gets me with I was gonna say it usually gets me with a cute cat does cute things,
But the cute cat does cute things. I mean, you look at for a second.
right?
You
I
don't
don't
spend
dig
a lot
into
of time on
it.
it. You don't dig into it,
Nah.
and you don't like comment on everybody's articles about the cute cat picture, and it doesn't engage you in the same way. So it's designed to do that, and I guess we're all victims of that. But lordy, lordy, lordy,
I
begordy,
know.
the other
It's a
controversy that
lot.
I saw coming up today was the Lil Nas X, his video where he's like the devil, and now he's made like custom shoes that have like have like a devil symbol on them, and they're red, and people are just furious that this satanic content is available where children can see it on the internet, where they can see pictures of these shoes that are, and it's like, guys, who cares?
I haven't heard about this, and I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's just, well,
I
and it's,
really people are up in arms as though there's not imagery of devils on, like, canned ham.
yeah. Are there images of devils on canned ham?
Yeah, there's that canned ham you get at, like, the 7-Eleven or the
I don't.
gas
I've
station.
never bought a canned ham at the gas station, but I guess if I did, I would expect to see the devil on it.
Yeah, it's got
So
a little
that
devil on it. It's a
totally
really
makes
cute
sense.
little image. It would make a great tattoo.
Okay.
The
Well,
devil from the canned ham.
the devil from the canned ham at the gas station. What is your life even? I mean, I feel like this is why our professional relationship has been so rewarding. Is that there's just always new things. There's always something new with you. I love that. I love that about you.
Yeah. I am so surprised that you don't know about the devil on the canned ham at the grocery store or the gas station three-way rest stop.
Do they sell canned hams at the gas station?
Well, it's
Like a
not a canned
Christmas?
ham. It's
Like a
no, it's
Christmas
canned ham.
stuff?
It's small. It's small.
Like the ham
It's a
salad kinda
can
stuff.
of ham. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's canned
Okay.
ham.
I mean, I've still
Yeah,
not
it's
seen the
not
devil.
like a
I've still
whole
not seen the
ham.
devil on that. So, that
No,
might be a
it's
you thing.
totally on there.
That might be a you thing. There was canned ham at the gas station, and I swear the devil was on it. That might be a you thing, but
That
I'm gonna
actually that actually might be me.
please drop us a line
Canned
if you've seen the
ham
devil on canned ham at the gas station.
devil canned deviled ham. I'm looking it up.
Okay,
Alright.
she's looking it up.
Can you see this at all?
Um, okay, yes. Oh, because it's deviled ham. Okay,
Underwood deviled ham in the
well,
can.
you could have
It
led with
comes in
it.
a family six-pack. If you have a family of 6, everybody gets their own can of ham.
Everybody gets their own can of
Everybody gets
deviled.
their own devil.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I forgot there was such a
Alrighty.
thing. I briefly forgot there was such a thing as deviled ham, and I'm a little sad that you reminded me that exists.
I never ever forget about deviled ham. I think about the canned ham at the rest stop. Like, I think about it frequently. Pretty sure I've never eaten it. I bet it's really good.
It's probably really good. I don't know. I don't know. I bet I have. I bet I have in my
I
youth.
don't think I've had it. I don't think even in my youth, I know I wanted it, and I don't think I ever had it. I would have put it on crackers.
I would put on crackers. Oh,
What
speaking
happened to
of,
this show?
I don't know. Speaking of crackers,
Yeah.
what's your thing?
What's my thing? Did I have an article here, did you mean?
Did you have a thing? Do
I
you have a
have a
thing?
thing.
Or are we
Yeah,
going
I
right to my
definitely have a thing.
colonoscopy?
Oh, well, I mean, we do only have, like, 20 minutes. This is pretty short, though.
All right.
Um, though it might lead to a discussion, I don't know. But this interested me, and I think I have a lot of thoughts about it that I haven't quite distilled yet, but it's by Eva Tesfaye, and this is from NPR.
Okay.
And it's Nike accused of using disability to hype new hands-free sneaker.
Okay.
And it starts off with a person who's recovering from a stroke and has limited mobility, talking about these new Nike sneakers that are designed to be quick and easy to get into every day. And it's the kind of thing where you just put your foot in and step down, and then your shoe is on.
Oh,
So it's
I like that.
really great if maybe like tying things is hard,
Right.
maybe even if bending is hard, because you can just put your foot in it, goes right on. And he says that they're really the only pair I have that actually fit and stay on my feet. And there are lots of slip on shoes available, but these Nike ones are designed with both fashion and the needs of people with disabilities. So the long and short of the article is that some people are saying that the Nike Corporation is using disability to sell shoes to the masses, and that's not right. Because Nike, big corporation, they're marketing these shoes as like cool and everybody wants them.
Okay.
But
Not sure I
disabled
quite get
people are
it,
kind
but
of
yeah.
clamoring for them. I'm not sure I do either, because from what I understand, disabled people are clamoring for them because they're fashionable
Right.
as well as functional. And so it the question I have is, it using disability, or is it making things that might be useful for a person who is disabled cool and fashionable? Because someone later in the article is also quoted as saying, like, I didn't like these other things because they weren't fashion, they were really ugly,
Right.
and I like these because they're fashion. And in my mind, I think what I've been trying to distill since I've seen this is, it would make sense to me if there were more fashion for the disabled.
Yeah.
Because just because you're disabled doesn't mean you don't wanna look good.
Right. Well, you think of the white Velcro sneakers or the Dr. Scholl's sort of um
Mhm.
those aren't that's not the end of disability products, but you think of that kind of thing. Um and it's certainly the case. There's yeah, I don't know why I would maybe I'd want fashionable shoes and maybe I wouldn't care. But if I
I
didn't
think that
care, then
depends on whether you follow fashion or not, I think.
right.
Like,
And
that's just people.
yeah, I mean, I mean, I guess maybe the issue is it's try I don't know. No, I have a hard time seeing a problem with it myself. I mean, I guess the only thing I can think of is it's the idea that it's just trying to disguise a disability maybe by having something fashionable and thereby indirectly stigmatizing the disability. But again, I don't see why you should have to wear ugly shoes just because you're disabled, just to you know?
Right. That that's kinda my thought, like, the way it's phrased by, I'm trying to find out who this person is who is speaking. Um, oh, the husband of the fellow who needs to wear the special shoes because he's recovering from a stroke.
Mhm.
He's the one who says they're using disability to sell to the masses while not giving those with disability the first access. Echoing criticism that the company is exploiting inspirational stories of people with disabilities to sell a shoe that many of them won't be able to afford. And I will say the price point on some stuff, I think, is yet another problem.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not positive I can blame Nike on this for making fashionable shoes that are good for people with different disabilities and also like so fashion that someone who doesn't have a disability might want them. I
Yeah.
might more, in fact, criticize for a disabled person their insurance company not covering at least a portion of shoes that they need to go on their feet.
Right. Yeah, I think I mean I think there's a bigger societal issue there, but I mean Nikes are expensive, especially like the hot new Nikes
Yeah.
are always I mean they're always way like they're way out of my price range.
Oh,
Um
mine too. Yeah.
and if they were made something that I needed specifically and I was like, "Oh, I could get some pretty shit." I could see being annoyed. I could absolutely see being bothered like, "Okay, I need these shoes." But
Hmm.
all I can get or afford or my insurance will cover are the the white the the white Dr.
Yeah.
Scholl. I'm not picking on
The
Dr. Scholl's,
non
but
fashion ones.
you know, uh then yeah, I'd be here I am a disabled person who actually can use those and doesn't want to wear ugly shoes and I have to but I mean I think that's a bigger societal problem. And I know there's certainly,
Yeah.
what they always call the disability porn. I'm sure there's an issue there of we're going to use, we're going to do these we're going to play this soft music and do this
Hmm.
inspiring
Hmm.
story of this person who's overcome a disability and they're fighting through their disability to and here you can wear these shoes and then um selling them to it, and getting people to buy them based on people who don't need them to buy them based on that. So I can see a little of the thing, but I feel like it's a broader societal issue than just Nike making shoes that are something that people might want even though they can't necessarily afford them.
Yeah.
But if there's a lot
I
of
don't know.
disability
I
porn
mean,
going on, I can tell you that that's probably annoying.
and maybe that's it. I haven't seen any ads for it. I just saw this
Yeah,
article, and
neither.
my thought was, I feel like we need more fashion for people who are
Yeah.
disabled and more things that are functional. And like, I have no control over this because I'm not a manufacturer, but if everybody wants these sneakers and they're good for disabled people and people who don't have disabilities, make the shoes. People want them, make the fashion.
Well, and it's a way too. I mean, I some y- there are certainly some very specific disabilities that require very not specific disabilities, but there are disabilities that are going to require very specific footwear, right? And then there are disabilities that are going to require that are going to be okay, like um a broader type of shoe that would be that would be helpful. It wouldn't necessarily have to be something very specific. And if you have, particularly if you have things like that, and you're marketing them to a broader audience, then it's a little more likely that those shoes are going to get made and they're going to be out there.
Hmm.
Um, Granted, that doesn't seem to have happened, even though that logic is in place. So I'm not sure, the holdup there. Well, the holdup there is, I think we have tremendous uh, stereotyping and issues
Hmm.
about
Yeah.
stereotyping and discrimination involving disabled people in our society. But I don't know. Like you said, I think the issue for me is there should be more of that. And presumably, the more of it there is, the more affordable, at least some of it would be.
That's how it seems to me. And I guess that's probably too simple a solution. We can say it, doesn't mean it's going to come true overnight or
Right, right,
something.
right.
But thank you for
Absolutely.
talking about this with me because in reading the article, I was like, wait, what am I missing? I feel like it's not Nike's fault that they're making fashionable shoes that disabled people can use.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess if you make, I mean, I can see again, and neither one of us neither one of us is disabled, identifies as disabled. So it's a little hard to, it's us speaking about this is sort of beside the point. But I can also imagine a carry on effect of, oh, we've made shoes that are beneficial to certain types of disabilities, people with certain types of disabilities that are also so cool that everybody else wants them. Yes, that's annoying that they might be harder to get, but it also seems potentially destigmatizing a little bit because it's, you know, Oh, I've got the same shoes that the and I understand the commentary from what you're telling me is also sort of the flip side of that of, oh well, it's this inspiring, it's this inspiration porn where I have the inspirational shoes from the disabled people because of the fight for the free, the
Mhm.
disability, and they survived the freedom and the all that sort of stuff. But I think there's a potential also that it's destigmatizing if it's like, oh, you have cool shoes, I have cool shoes, both got cool shoes because we're rich
Yeah, and it does say in
and we
the
can
article,
afford fancy Nike shoes.
that one of the designers at Nike is an athlete with a prosthetic leg. And that person is quoted as saying, I was really tired of being told these are the shoes that are for you because you have a disability, meaning the shoes that she felt were ugly and unfashionable that she could get before.
Mhm.
And she says, so I think we've been very deliberate in that what we might be designing for people with disabilities, but this shoe is for everybody. So to your point about destigmatizing, there was a deliberate thrust in designing to make these like real cool looking shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I
So
think, you know, whatever the specific issues here, I think I would assume we would all agree that more of that would be better.
yeah,
And
and they are cool looking sneaks.
maybe part of the problem is, you've got one pair of shoes. You've got one pair of shoes that sort of fit that category. That's probably a little frustrating there as well.
But so thanks for talking about that with me. We are getting down to almost time. So I want to hear about this colonoscopy.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to warn. So this will just be a warning. This will be real quick. So I'll just warn people, or tell me if you absolutely don't. I don't know with this. I don't know where the line is between oversharing and destigmatizing, like we were talking about. But so because of family history. And because of some family history and also some medical mysteries, which I think I've talked about on the show involving myself. I think I've talked about on
Hmm.
the show, but I can't remember. I am
You have.
uh, getting an early colonoscopy, and I
Yes,
wanted
because
to.
you're so young.
I thank you, I am. It's true. But I've read a lot about this, and there's it. It really is sort of the state of the art in detecting these certain types of colon cancers and things like that, and to the point where they've. I guess now the standard is the recommendation is to get your first colonoscopy at 50, but there's already something in the wind about lowering that to 45 because I guess they're just very effective, and it's a type it's types of cancer that are sort of, depending on when they're found, of course, there are all sorts of
Hmm.
variables, but can be dealt with when detected. They maybe are a little easier than certain other kind of cancers. When we find them, we can take care of them. So it's a diagnostic procedure that does is very effective in finding things, and then it's a the types of things that can be found
Hmm.
are usually often treatable. So I'm doing that. So I'm doing that next week. I don't know if anybody wants to. Is gonna. I guess it'll be after the next show, so maybe I can talk about it a little more next week. But I don't know. I think it's a thing that people will face, but it's one of those. I feel like it's still a little bit of one of those things it's sort of icky. I don't know if people talk about it. So maybe we'll talk about it a little more next week about the whole deal. It's interesting. I'm learning a lot. Just
Yeah.
talking to other people who've had to do. I mean, I have a friend who's younger than I am, who's for similar reasons has already had
Hmm.
one. So it's a whole thing. Everybody's doing it. The cool
Oh,
kids are doing it.
absolutely. A really good friend of mine who's my age, also, gosh, I think maybe they've had a couple already. Just
Wow.
again, like you said, due to family history, just better to get some early scans and start this early testing.
Yeah.
I think you're right that there is a little bit of I think with almost everything, there's a little bit of stigma, like, you don't wanna say that you went to the doctor for this test or that
Right.
test,
Right.
when really it's good to look after oneself and get the screenings.
And I mean, there's a little extra with this because it's literally a butt probe where you have to give yourself diarrhea beforehand. So it's all
Yeah,
it's levels of things that people don't like to talk about. So
but it's important.
yeah, absolutely. So maybe stay tuned, everybody. We'll talk about that
I
next week. And then Heather will tell us something personal too. It'll be fun.
I know. I'll revisit my mammogram.
That's
But
that's 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 I mean, that's old hat.
I know those are old hat,
Yeah.
and we talk about those
But it's
now.
also important, also very important, obviously. Very,
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 very
very,
important.
very, very important. So,
Yeah.
and same
So
kind of thing, very effective diagnostic procedure and very good at finding cancers that if found early can usually be treated. So, yeah.
yeah.
So,
So I don't know.
stay
There's
tuned for that
vaccines.
next
There's
week.
screenings. We'll have all kinds of medical news. We'll share our personal medical histories with you.
I'm just going to bring my whole file and I'll just read you everything. I don't care.
There you go. So stay tuned for that next week on The Sound of Tomorrow.
On that note,
As for now, coming up next on WAYO LP Rochester is the fantastic program Music Matters. So stay tuned because we all know music matters. So, how's our new release the Heathercut hashtag doing?
well, um,
Are we viral yet?
well, hey, we got a retweet.
That was me.
Oh, do it again.
Do the release the Heathercut?
No, do another retweet. Retweet it again.
Do another retweet.
Keep retweeting.
I did a lot.
All right. You did all you can.
Yeah.
Use your burner accounts.
How do you know about those?
Yeah.
You're not supposed